Okay, so welcome to Brooklyn. This is one of the 5 boroughs of New York City. It's the biggest one there is. It's the most populous, certainly the most amount of people. And as you can see by the graffiti on the wall in front of you, we are at the Bushwick Collective. Now, the Bushwick Collective is an outdoor street gallery, essentially, street art gallery. And as you'll see here, there's some fantastic street art on the walls by some of the world's most famous street artists. And if you go around the corner there, you'll see some works by Mr. Blob and some of the other very famous street artists around. There's even a Banksy around in Brooklyn somewhere called Hammer Boy, which you'll have to go and find that if that's part of what you want to do. But Brooklyn is a very famous area for street art, and the Bushwick Collective really, like I've said, it's a street art gallery, and it's playing off the back of what really is the explosion in the popularity of street art. It might look like graffiti, but it's not, because it's legal. One of the main definitions of graffiti is that it is illegal. And I'm sure many of us will be aware of the story of how graffiti turned into street art, insofar as, it's become very popular in the arts industry, and it's some of the most expensive art form there is. Some of the Banksys go for millions and millions of pounds. Graffiti itself as a subculture started back in the 1970s in New York. This is the epicenter city for graffiti. It actually came about through a new technology, the spray can technology in the 70s. And what people used to do, it was a gang tagging thing. It would it was a turf war, essentially, and what people liked to do was they spray painted their tags onto the subway trains in New York, and because the trains would go all around the city and people would be able to see their tag. But now, 50 years later, street art is, like I said, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and really it speaks to the ways in which creativity, in this particular sense, a kind of subversive, edgy form of creativity, has become big business, and how it's become a sort of signifier of gentrification. There's lots of work around the co-option of particular subcultures, my work included, but many other people as well. But really it boils down to using particular motifs that are considered to be edgy and funky and cool to give an area a sense of newness, a sense of coolness, and really to attract those kinds of people that are considered to be very economically mobile, and the kinds of people you want to attract to your area, and they're attracted by this kind of stuff. So it really, using these kinds of motifs, using branding and graffiti in this way, and street art, it kind of softens the edges of once derelict or sort of quite perhaps dangerous areas, and allows the gentrification process to begin. So really, it's actually very important for real estate developers and other people for these kinds of processes. But that's not to say that the graffiti doesn't go on. A lot of the stuff you see here is legal, but you walk around any parts of Brooklyn and you'll see illegal graffiti. You just look at the other side of the street there, the other side of the intersection, there'll be some tagging that's gone on there, which is illegal, no doubt. So take some time to wander around, use the arrows to click through, go up and down the streets. There's loads of fascinating graffiti. Which ones do you like the best? Maybe take some photos or some screen grabs, and try and work out what they're trying to say. There's lots of different kinds of messages about American politics, about the ways that New York has developed. So maybe take a screen grab of one or two and write a few words about what kinds of messages you think they're trying to say.